Thanks for joining us this week. We are talking about compensation. So this week's Team Ignite Weekly Training is going to be on the compensation plan. Just overview of some of the things that you might already know, and then maybe just another way to look at things for those of you that do know it but are just having a little bit of struggle understanding some of the pieces of the compensation plan. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that Keith Howes had told me about a couple months back about what makes a good comp plan, the 10 ways that we're getting paid, and what your path, a couple of different variations of what your path might be depending on what your goals are, a little estimation tip so you can kind of estimate what your paycheck's going to be each month, and then just a little further discussion on understanding your PQV, which is the personal qualifying volume. So first off, I want to talk about what Keith had shared with me, and this was back when I went to Paula's retreat in Tennessee. And he talked about the three things that really make a really strong, good compensation plan. And I might have told you guys this before, but I just wanted to reiterate it. That the three things are, first off, having new people that get paid quickly and a significant amount of money. As new people come in, they want to have some instant wins, and they want to feel like they're, having some success, and based on their paycheck rising, that's going to be one of the first indicators for them. So you don't want them to have to wait a full month to see their paycheck jumping up. So the weekly payout and having that be significant is something that's really important for new people to get them on board and excited quickly. The other thing is that you want mid-level leaders to be paid well for leading their team. So as the new person comes on board, they're the most excited about sharing with people. I mean, really, they're enthusiastic, and they're out there, and they're telling people, and they're bringing people on board. And usually the new people, we see the big jump in their team growth. And as you've been in it for 6 months or maybe a year, you start, let's face it, running out of new people to talk to. So you're still bringing new people in as you're reaching new people, but it might not be in as fast of a pace as it was when you first began. So now that weekly paycheck might not be quite as significant with the fast start bonuses and the quick start bonuses, but now when you're that mid-level leader, you want to make sure you're getting paid well because you have new duties now. You have new responsibilities as you're leading your team. So we want our mid-level leaders to be paid well and quickly too. So then the third thing is, as you've been in this for a longer time, you want to know that you're going to have long-term payouts and that you're going to continue to grow and be able to build a retirement plan. That's one of the biggest, most alluring things about multi-level marketing is that in 10 years, you know that you're going to have a residual income set that's going to continue to come in, even if you do want to kick back and retire a little. So, I mean, most of us are like, I can't even imagine not working ever, but, at some point, because we love what we do so much, I just can't imagine that we wouldn't want to do it, but at some point we do maybe want to take a month off and know that our paycheck is going to come in. So the long-term income is important. Well, our comp plan pays in 10 different ways, and it does all of that, and that's what I just want to kind of wrap your brain around during this week's training. So the first thing is that upfront income, and one of the ways that we can make upfront income is the retail profit of the product. All of the screen clips that I have in here are all from this brochure, so you guys know where I grabbed it from. It's the Are You Next Compensation and Opportunity Overview brochure. You can download that from the Youngevity Team Resource Center. It's out there for you to grab. But all I did was take it and put a couple of my own little blurbs in so that I could teach you guys a couple extra things. So the retail profit, you can choose to resell the product at the retail price or above the retail price, just so long as you don't go below the wholesale price. You're able to sell those to your customers. And you can buy those products with your ID, or you can buy them as a preferred customer that you've created. But remember that you're responsible for tracking your income and sales tax on any of the profit. Youngevity is not going to track any of that. You're not going to get a 1099 for any of the profit that you've made selling things at retail. So I know I did my math wrong here. It should say $31.80. But when you buy a cover set, and let's say that you buy it on auto ship and you're not paying any shipping, in Michigan we have a 6% sales tax. So we would pay $31.80 to Youngevity to get that. That's what Youngevity would track. The retail price of that cover set is $43, and if we charged 8% shipping and 6% tax on that, that's $49.22 from a customer, making $17.41. You're absolutely able to do this as a way to make some quick money selling retail. If you know the market probably isn't going to bear $43 necessarily for a cover set, but some people might spend that. So it's your choice. There's many other products that you can sell at retail that are much more realistically priced. I shouldn't say realistic. I think you guys know that most of the people that buy cover sets are not probably going to want to pay $43, but some of our other products, the retail price is pretty reasonable. So if you want to do this, you absolutely can do this. You just have to know that you have to track that yourself. The second way is through the Quick Start bonuses. And this is probably one of the most important things for a new person to wrap their head around, because they're getting 30% value of the new enrolled distributors or customers that they're selling products to on their purchases within their first 30 days of business. Not theirs, but their new distributor or their new customer. And those bonuses are paid up to $750 in bonus value. That's an important number to remember, because if you go over that, you aren't paid over the $750. A couple people have asked me why. Well, the first reason is because this company is based on purchases for an individual and not on reselling large quantities of products. So this is sort of a little bit of a deterrent. You'll have to set up multiple customer accounts if you wanted to order more than that. But it's really because the average person that comes in, they're not going to spend $750 or more in 1 month. So that's more or less the threshold for an individual customer or distributor. So you're rewarded the most in this compensation plan on the bringing in of new customers and distributors, with the Quick Start bonuses and with the Fast Start bonuses, which is the third upfront income opportunity. And you get $100 cash for every new personally enrolled distributor who purchases the CEO Mega Pack. This one, the 30%, if you have a $100 purchase and it's $100 at wholesale, it's generally not going to be $100 in bonus value, which is what we're paid on. So, for example, if you sold a Gold Club for $100, the bonus value on that is only $72. So you're making 30% of the $72 in the Quick Start bonus. The Fast Start is always $100 cash. So any personally enrolled distributor, and remember that upgrades count too. So somebody that's been in for a little while can upgrade to a CEO pack, and you're still going to get that $100 bonus. So why would somebody want to buy the CEO Mega Pack? Think of that as some of those packs as family packs. You know, somebody's coming to you and they want the Healthy Body Pack for them and themselves and their husband. This is a great opportunity to say, if you buy the CEO Mega Pack, you're not only getting 2 months worth for you, one for your husband, but you're getting an awesome amount of samples in that pack too, so you can try the Saxy and the Rebound and the Power Burst, the CM Cream, and those are all our best sellers. So that's another reason why people might want to buy that Mega Pack. And then, of course, some of them have an incredible value, like the CO pack for the oils kit has more than $700 worth of product in it. So that's another one that is a great value for the $4.99. So those are the 3 ways that a new distributor can earn some quick upfront. Then, as they've been in for a little while and they're bringing new people in, you want to make sure that we're paying out the mid-level income as well, and that comes in the form of the residual bonuses. And what the residual bonus is it is downline commissions, 8-level stuff. And this is based on your rank, how much you're paid in the percentages, so it's between 5 and 8%. And it's when it says your personal, this is something that I wanted to put a note off to the side here because this confuses some people. It's not your personal purchase requirement. It's what lumped into that number is any customers that order something from your website and pay retail. They show up in your personal volume and you would get commission on, not what you personally bought. So just note that every once in a while somebody will log on to a website and they'll buy at retail. I've only seen it, even for myself, twice. I think it's happened since I've been in here, but I know that it has happened to people here and there, where you send something out to a customer and they just click the link and they buy, and they decide not to become a preferred customer, or maybe they didn't understand it and they pay full retail. So that will show up under your personal orders, and it does count in the compensation that you'll be paid, but not your personal orders that you go into the back office or you go into the LIGY and place. So one thing, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more at the end, that I really want you to pay attention to is that your rank and how many levels of distributors you have in your organization. Because one of the things that I've been hearing people say is, I'm not getting paid enough to maintain my rank. And I want you guys just to really pay attention and know that the IMD rank pays 3 levels deep. So for that $100 auto ship investment, you're not only getting a 30% commission, but you're getting paid 3 levels deep. So you might not need to be investing in 150 or 200. Of course, if you want the product, that's different. But if you're just doing it to maintain your rank, unless you have a 4th or a 5th line, there might not be any reason for you to be ordering at that level. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. Here's the chart that explains that. So if you are putting in a $50 auto ship, you're considered a junior independent marketing director, and you're going to get paid 5% on your first and second level distributors. You're not going to get a quick start bonus at this level, so this is for somebody that really isn't doing this to get any sort of income, just maybe a $5 or $10 check every month. That's the JIMD. The independent marketing director is the person that's putting in the $100 auto ship, getting paid 30% for the personally recruited people, and has some team building. So you're going to get paid 8, 8, and 7% on your first, second, and third line. So jump over to this and realize that at the regional marketing director, the only difference in your downline compensation, you're still getting the same quick start bonus, and you're still getting the same compensation until you see the 4th line. And in the 4th line, you're getting an additional 4%. Now, we tell you to rank up, if you can, as fast as you can, because of the coding bonuses. And your coding bonus, and I'm going to explain that in a minute, is an additional bonus if you're a CEO. But if you're not a CEO, you definitely should pay attention to this and just put in the amount of personal purchase requirements that you need to reach the rank to the lowest distributor level that you have on your team. If you don't have any 4th level distributors, then you're fine at the $100 level. And maybe even if you have 1 or 2 4th line distributors that are only ordering $50 a month, you're not going to make enough up in commission for those 2 people's orders at 6%. Other $50 up that you need to get to regional marketing director. So pay attention to that one. When you get to EMD, it's your 5th line. So, and then once you get up here, then it really doesn't make any difference because it pays you all the way down. You do get a little extra bump when you get to presidential in your 7th line, but other than that, the rest of it is all paying out the same. All right, I'm going to check just to see if there's any questions so far. Okay. So the next piece for the mid-level incomes are the coding bonuses that I just mentioned. And this truly is the most powerful part of the compensation plan. I'm not going to go over this in depth today. I just want you guys to understand that based on your rank, you are paid an amount of money that is coded to you, and just how it explains it in here, through a coded rank at the time that the person purchases their CEO kit. And the higher rank you are, the higher amount of money that you receive on the ones that you not only personally recruit, but on the CEOs that come into your whole downline. So the higher in rank you go, the bigger your team is, the bigger the checks are for the CEO coding bonuses if your team is signing up new CEOs. So this can be an incredible amount of money. I mean, some of the new girls that have joined, I mean, I watch them, they're making maybe $300 or $400 each week because they're bringing in 1 or 2 new CEOs themselves, and then they have a couple new CEOs on their team. There's plenty of people on the team that are making more than that because they're more actively bringing on CEOs. And then there's some people that are making 0 in this category because they aren't bringing any CEOs in. So it's completely up to you, but you can watch your income grow in this infinity type bonus that bumps up as you bump up in rank. So the important thing to note is that whatever your rank is, if you're close to reaching the next one any 1 month, you push for it. So you can get there for that 1 month because whatever your title is for that month, your lifetime title for coding bonuses is ranked at that. So you will always be that rank whether you hit it on a monthly basis or not. And then the other thing in the midterm income category is the car bonuses, which this is another large chunk of money that can be deposited into your account At SEMD and above, you can see the numbers here, $300, $600, $800, and $1,000 for a car bonus. That is just a cash amount that is deposited into your account. In order to reach that, you have to be CEO qualified, and you have to at least be paid at the SEMD rank, not just rank qualified for the lifetime rank like this one. This one is based on a monthly basis of hitting that rank each month and then having 12 personally enrolled IMDs on your team that have hit $100, not an auto ship, but just $100 that they have made in personal purchases for themselves in the month. You can move any of those IMDs. They only need to be personally enrolled by you. They can be placed anywhere in your organization, and you're reaching that car bonus. So think about this, like I said, in the short term, long term. So you're a new person coming in, and you want to be able to make some income really quick. So you're bringing on new CEOs, or you're bringing on people that are just purchasing healthy body packs or Gold Club pans. You're making that 30%. You're making that $100 cash for the fast start, and you're building up your income. You're maybe selling some things at retail. So you can pretty quickly get to $500 in a month as a new person doing that pretty regularly. Then as you are building your team, your residual income at first is maybe only going to be, $40 or $50 a month. Slowly it's going to build up to $100 a month, because really the 8%, the 7%, it's going to depend on what the volume is to make any significant crack in that. But as you get to SEMD, you know that your minimum volume to reach SEMD is $5,400. So you're going to start seeing your midterm level income move to $300 a month. Or you get the car bonus, and now suddenly it's $600 a month. Well, if you're still doing what you were doing in the beginning and you're still bringing new people in, that $500 isn't going to go away. So now you're doubling your income because your midterm income is kicking in. And then as you move into the long-term income, as your team really starts to grow, you receive this infinity bonus, which after level 8, you're paid 2% down to infinity for the rest of your downline. And one of the things that really had a huge impact on me, I just kind of figured this was like, just whatever, 2%, that's like no big deal. I'm not going to make very much money in that at all. And again, in talking to Keith, I was thanking him for spending so much time training me, and I said, I know I'm like, on your 17th line or something, so you're not really making very much money off of me and my team, so I really appreciate your time. And he kind of chuckled, and he said that he makes more money in the 2% infinity bonus than he does off of his first, second, and third lines. And I just was staring at him trying to comprehend that, and I totally get it, because right now we keep our first and second and third lines pretty skinny. And it's just, your downline grows incredibly from the bottom. So that 2% is a huge chunk of your business as you're growing this into a real business. So I just want you to, to keep thinking that you're going to get a lot of long, skinny lines of people that, grow and grow and grow, and then somebody down in your 10th line could be a rock star, and you're going to get a bunch of people that grow down there. And in past companies that we've been with, we didn't even have visibility to the person in our 10th line, let alone get paid 2% on everything that they do down that far into the down line. So something to just keep in mind. Then this one just kind of came up into the forefront of my own mind with the stock options, because just this week they announced, and I don't fully understand stock plans, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but that I know that our stock is valued at 24 cents a share right now, and they had an announcement that it looks like it was going to go up to 49 cents a share. So that's pretty significant. And when I joined back when we came over, they were offering stock options to even EMDs, but they got so, the payout was so much.
Listen only mode.
That's me, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. Here, I can read you in here. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. So now, though, they have changed it, and you have to be at the VPMD rank in order to earn the stock options. But what happens is they give you a sheet of paper that says you've earned the right to purchase stocks. So let's just assume you were at the Vice Presidential Marketing Director rank and you have to be there 3 months in a row, and they would send you this paper that says you've earned 5,000 shares of stock options. So when you get that piece of paper, it'll have a date and it'll have a price. So for example, I pulled out one that I had from January, and I don't remember what level I was paid at, but I had 1,000 shares of the stock, and it was valued at 20 cents. So I have 3 years to choose that I want to execute the right to buy those. So for $200, I can purchase 1,000 shares of the stock, even if the price now is 49 cents, or next year it could be $1.25 or whatever it is. I have the opportunity to buy it at the 20 cents that I earned it. So this could be a really significant portion of the long-term income if you get to VPMD or above and maintain the rank and receive those stock certificates. So this is something to really keep in mind. And then the other long-term income is the global revenue sharing pool. When you get to some of the top ranks, you get a percentage of profit of revenue from the company. I'm not going to go into great detail on that, but I want to talk about the other bonuses that you get. There's a dream car bonus as you reach some of that top ranks, but there's also the incentive trips, which for any of you that have been on incentive trips before, you know that those are a great perk, and it's a free vacation. So of course, we are in the middle of one of those right now. The Top Achievers Club cruise is going on. You have just a couple months into it. It started in September, so there's plenty of time still to earn that one. Then there is the free promotion when you sell 3. So when you sell 3 healthy body packs in a month, and you have a healthy body pack on AutoShip, you have the opportunity to get that healthy body pack free. And they are talking about extending that to Gold Clubs, which is really exciting. So when you sell 3 Gold Clubs, then we'll be able to receive a free Gold Club membership. I don't know when that's going to come into play, hopefully in the new year, but it is something that I think is going to be a huge win for our team. And then incentives, like at the convention, they had the big spin incentive this month where they gave away tons of prizes, and some people won some really significant things. So there's lots of ways that you can earn money in the company. So I'm just going to quick see if there's any questions here before I go on to the different paths. Kim has a question. Kim Mao, your question I'm going to have to take offline. That's complicated, and I'm not positive how to answer that right now. Kathy says, you get bonus based on rank when they buy CEO or when they join? When they joined. So everyone, and this is something to really wrap your brain around, everybody is connected to the person that joins their team by the rank they're at on the day that they join. So let me say that again. You're connected to the person by the rank that you are on the day that they join. So if you are an SEMD today and someone joins your team but does not purchase the CEO Mega Pack, you are connected to them at an SEMD rank. If 3 months from now you've promoted to Vice Presidential Marketing Director and they choose to buy the CEO kit after you've promoted, you're still connected to them at SEMD because that's the rank that you were at the day that they joined. And let's see, did I hear somewhere that we can opt to be paid once a month and save some of the $250 charges on each check? Yes, there's a checkbox that you can select that is under, I think it's under profile in your account, but it is in the back office, and you just check it in and they'll pay you once a month, or you can just call in and ask them to do it for you. And then all your checks will accumulate and you will be paid once a month. Kim is asking if they're ever going to offer direct deposit, and that is going to be a no because they're in so many different countries that it would be crazy for them to have to deal with all of the different banks that they would work with. But they do have a ProPay Visa card that you can have your checks loaded onto, so you don't have to go to the bank. I know Andrea is kind of an expert on that one. So if she's in a place where she can unmute, she can talk about that. But you can load the card up and use it like a debit card, and then you don't have to wait for the checks. And it's loaded pretty quick onto that account, so you don't have to wait for your checks to come.
We can post a handout that explains the steps of how to sign up for that so that you don't end up signed up for the Payoneer account, which is for Canadians. So we can post that in our Ignite group. that gives you the directions, but it deposits on there. It costs $1.50 for each payout to go on the card, and you can also do it weekly or once a month. And it's a MasterCard. So what I do is I just leave the money on it. I can transfer it off like into my checking account, kind of like we did with our Creative Memories payouts on our ProPay card. But I leave it on there because I can just pay for things with that MasterCard. I can use that for my auto ship. I can use it to purchase, business enhancers that I'm ordering from different places, or just buy things that I want to buy with the income that I'm making. So it's pretty simple, but it's not easy to find. So if you try and search for it today, you can't find it, just hang in there and we'll get that posted up for you.
Thank you, Andrea. Okay, so moving on from the compensation stuff, I just want to talk about the goals. Because I think you guys hear me talk about the CEO mega packs and selling and SEMDs and all of this stuff a lot. And I realize that there's a great group of people that don't really want to make an income. They just want to do this for fun, and they just want to get their stuff for cheap or free. And we absolutely welcome every single kind of distributor on our team. Just the people that want to get stuff for cheap or free don't necessarily have to be on the training calls because there's not a whole lot for them to do. So generally the training calls are more focused on the business builders. But I do want to be cognizant that you guys need to know how to train your team for people that really do just want to be a hobbyist. So there's really those three categories of people. The people that just want cheap or free, and those are the hobby level people. And they can be, I say hobby level, I need to come up with a better word because they could be health enthusiasts that really just want their stuff cheap and free, and being healthy isn't really a hobby. So you guys get what I mean now. The other level is I want to make $500 to $1,000 a month, and that's somebody that is, I consider a part-time person. They, want to supplement their income. They want to be able to pay for the extras, save up for a vacation, but they're not looking to really work a full-time job. And then there's the people that want to make $5,000 or more a month. And the thing that I used to struggle with at our old company was I knew that I could help people to get to level 1 and level 2. It was really easy to be able to show people how they could get stuff for cheap or free, or how they could make $500, maybe even $1,000 a month. But I really didn't even have the confidence that very many people could make more than $5,000 a month. I knew I knew there were months that I could, but I couldn't do that consistently, and so I never felt confident in telling people that they could do that. Where here, I feel 100% confident that tons of people can make $5,000 or more a month, and you don't have to do anything different than the people that are making the $500 or $1,000. All you have to do is do what you guys are doing, just more frequently. It's not any different. It's just, I guess, more, I'm like at a loss for words today. Good grief. You just have to do it more often. So I'm going to tell you guys about that in just a couple minutes. I talked about at the beginning about that current rank and understanding how much you need to put into your personal qualifying volume based on your personal rank. But all those promotion videos that I did back a couple months ago, I posted them all on YouTube. I have a channel on YouTube that's called The DigiGal. As soon as you type it in there, it's going to try and switch you to the digital. But if you say, no, I want the DigiGal, it'll show up. And all those promotions are out there. And they're still very valid. And I would highly recommend that you guys watch those just to help you understand what rank you're at and what rank you need to go to. So if you have somebody on your team, or if you yourself says, I just want cheap or free, I don't really care if I make any money, that's not what my goal is here, those are the people I still always recommend them paying $10 and joining as a distributor, because cheap or free means that if they get a $20 check in the mail, they're going to be pretty happy because they just got their stuff cheaper. So they're not going to get rich. They're not going to make enough to probably, pay car payments, but they're going to get enough to be able to either get their supplies at zero cost or a much reduced price. So pay the $10, join as a distributor, get on the $100 auto ship. The reason I say that, even if you want it cheap or free, is it really is the best deal for people that are looking for a deal. You're paying $0 in shipping, and if that random person decides that they do want to order something from you, you're going to get 30% in that paycheck. And anybody who falls in love with the product, whether you're a salesperson or not, and you start talking about it, somebody's going to randomly order from you if you say this is the website. So that's my recommendation to them. And then I tell them to watch that YouTube video, how to move from a distributor, which is somebody who has not ordered anything, to a JIMD, to an IMD instantly. And really, it's just paying the $10 and getting on an auto ship. Cheap or free. Somebody that wants to make $500 to $1,000 in a month, I would always, even if they're a part-time person, I would always recommend them to buy the CEO kit. If they can't afford to do it at first, after they've built up a little bit of money, then to do it. And the reason for that is, just like that random person is going to end up buying something from your website, another random person on your fifth line or somewhere happens to be somewhere on your team is going to buy a CEO kit. It's happened to so many people on our team, and I feel so sad for them when they didn't have a CEO kit, they were not CEO qualified, and suddenly 3 people on their team bought CEO kits and they missed out on those coding bonuses. So right off the bat, if somebody says they're going to work at part-time means they're talking to people, and somebody is going to do it. Somebody is going to catch the vision and they're going to do it. So it's a one-time investment of the $500, and like I said, if they can't afford to do it right away, let them build up a little bit, a couple paychecks first, and then invest that back into the CEO kit. And then getting on board with a $150 auto ship immediately. The reason that I say that is somebody who is going to be working this part-time should be getting a 4th line and a 5th line pretty quickly, even if they're doing it part-time. Because if they're personally sharing it with people and they get 7 or 8 people that have joined, they're going to start moving those people into their 2nd line, and their 2nd line is going to build their 3rd line. And even if it's just a long, skinny line, they're going to start showing up people in their 4th and 5th line. So I like to see the person be on the auto ship before the emergency happens at the end of the month, when suddenly they realize, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get paid. Now what do? It's so much easier just to be prepared in the beginning and to get on that and to be geared up so that when it happens, it just shows up in your paycheck versus having to call the home office in an emergency, and I meant to do this and I should have had this, and it's been so good in working with us, but I would much rather see us be better on the front end and more prepared for it. And then all you have to do to be successful in this business is share with others and have them fall in love with the products and sign up people with them as preferred customers, as distributors, and CEOs. Just share what you love, share the products, and other people are going to have the same experiences that you do, and they're going to fall in love. And for this person that wants to do $500 to $1,000 a month, I'm shooting them toward the goal of being at SCMD because that's the best place to reach $500 to $1,000 consistently. So if they can get to Senior Executive Marketing Director in 3 months, they're going to be pretty well on their way here. And then there's that YouTube video for them to watch, the IMD to RMD in a day, so they can figure out how to get there quickly. And then the people that say that they want to make this be a full-time job and they want $5,000 or more in a month. So they're doing the same as what the part-time person is doing. That's what I love about this business. Every single person is doing the exact same thing. There isn't anything different that anyone has to do. You just fall in love with the products and share them. Fall in love with the products and share them, and then have other people fall in love with the products. You just have to do it a little bit faster if you want to get to $5,000. And how long would it take? I mean, there's tons of people in the company, not as many on our team, but lots in the company. Some of them get to SCMD in a day, but lots of them that get to SCMD in a month, without a doubt. And for the person that really wants that $5,000, you want to shoot for VPMD because that's a better, that's the place that you'll reach about $5,000. There's some SCMDs that are making $1 million a year, but for the most part, a VPMD is about where you'll start seeing the $5,000 or more coming into your paycheck. So this person, I would tell them to watch that YouTube video from RMD to EMD in a week, because you should be able to get to RMD in a day once you have that conversation that, if they really, really want to shoot for $5,000 or more a month. And then I just threw up the chart real quick so that you guys could see it again, that to be at SCMD, you personally, I should have put in here, need $250 in personal purchase, and then you need 3 RMDs on your team, which is someone that's ordering $150. And underneath them, you need 3 people that are ordering $50. Your total volume has to be $5,400, and that's generally the thing that trips people up. This part isn't as difficult as getting the $5,400. So just remember, all of those preferred customers count towards the $5,400. And I keep hearing people say, well, they're just a preferred customer. They're just a preferred customer. Preferred customers are awesome. They love our products. They're buying our products, and you're getting full commission on them, and they count towards your volume. Not every person has to be a distributor, you know, and eventually the preferred customers almost always do come over to be a distributor, but there's nothing to be scared of or disappointed in. So take advantage of the preferred customers and build your volume. So once you kind of have your goal and you know what you're shooting for, again, it's all about sharing what you love with everyone you know. And on the Thanksgiving call this week, when different people were talking about how they're going to reach out this week for Thanksgiving and talk to their friends and family, I was mainly just mentioned about how I would do the journaling cards around the Thanksgiving table and take pictures of people, and we share our gratitudes and have that year after year. But one of the things that I'm most excited about this time, when I was in the other company, I would be able to share the love of photos and journaling and that type of stuff. And everybody already knew that was what we did, so they just expected those things, annual traditions. But what's interesting about now when you go to an outing, you have so many different avenues for people to ask you questions about things that everyone at the party is going to ask you something. But before it was like, yeah, the moms and the nieces and the daughters and the sisters and the aunts might have been interested in stuff as photos, but I wasn't going to get a lot of the guys who are hanging around, the football game that were going to ask me questions about my next scrapbook. But now when you're walking in and you have, maybe you are wearing some MK Collab jewelry and somebody may comment about how nice you look. Oftentimes it's the men that say, wow, you look really great. What have you done? Or have you lost some weight? And, it's a great opportunity to say, like, oh my gosh, you should buy your girlfriend some jewelry or this dress, or it's just a conversation starter for them to start thinking about Christmas presents and some things that they can do. We have all of the different heritage makers, things like, our Christmas we can pass out and the purses that we can wear and the gifts that we can give to heritage makers, but we also have all of the health products that you mix up a BTT while everybody else is drinking their Diet Dr. Peppers or their, whatever it is that they're drinking, and somebody's bound to ask you a question about it and say, like, is that why you've been so, in such a good mood and had so much energy, or whatever it is. But you just have a lot of opportunities to talk about the different products you love. So that's what I'm the most excited about, is that you can have conversations with anybody now about something related to our business. And just remember that you're not looking for salespeople. You're looking for people who are going to love the products as much as you do, and that they're going to want to use them and share them and tell people about them. And that's what this is all about. The company is based on people's personal purchasing habits, not on aggressive, pushy salespeople that are trying to recruit everybody. And just, I know you guys already know this, but I always have to throw it in here just for good measure. Just note that if that full-time person that wants to make the $5,000 or more a month, scrapbooking purchase alone are never going to be enough for us to earn a full-time income. They just aren't. We've seen that year after year. We try to tell ourselves it's different, but it isn't. It is absolutely need to have more than just the scrapbooking purchases to reach that full-time level. So use what you love as your passion, and that's how you're going to reach more people. But remember that people can love more than one lane of products in their life. So there's plenty of people that are coming to my events that come because they love to scrapbook and socialize, but while we're there, we're chatting about their health issues. We're talking about fashion, makeup, and jewelry, and now we're talking about making soap and things. Thanks to Kristen, my upline, and all of her little cute stacking sucker ideas. I can't even believe that I'm making soap and things with these girls, but they're super excited to do that. So figure, what the heck, we'll give it a try. This is a little estimation tip for you guys, and again, it's not a guarantee, it's just a tip, that if you look at what your volume is, you can kind of estimate what your paycheck's going to be if you're working the same as a business. And again, this is not a guarantee, but in general, you're going to make around 10% of whatever your group bonus volume is. So if you're at about $1,000, I wrote BV, but it should have been QV up there, sorry, your group QV. You're making around $1,000, you can expect, sorry, not if you're making, if your team has about $1,000 in volume, you can expect about $100 coming from your downline. And the reason that it isn't, the 8, 8, 6, 7, you would think that it would be less than that, is because you're going to have a couple people that you're getting the 30% on. You might have a few people that you're earning less than 6% on. So about $100, could be 120, could be 170, but somewhere around there. If you have about $10,000, you can expect that you're going to have $1,000 or so. And again, this could be $1,200, this could be $800, this could be $1,700. It's just an average of about that, depending on how many new people you're bringing on board. And if you want to be making about $10,000 a month, then you need around $100,000 in QB. And I just wrote next to that, on average, this is an EMB, an SEMB, and a PMB that are generally at those levels of volume. But know that if you and your team are bringing in a lot of CEOs, your check is going to be so much higher than this, incredibly higher. It's $100 a piece that you're giving for all of those. You could be an SEMD with $10,000 in group volume and have a $2,000 check every month if you have more CEOs coming on your team. So know that this is not a guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just kind of giving you an estimation tip on how you can kind of see where you need to be. And then finally, I want to talk about the PQV again, and just remembering that your personal purchase requirement is not a quota. You're not required to purchase anything to remain active as a distributor and to keep your team under you. You don't have to place an order. You only have to place an order if you want to receive commission. So that's why it's called a personal qualifying order, and it's not called a quota because you have no quota. So again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, the transferred purchases, that you really have to think about your transferred purchases, and that $100 that you're putting in your auto ship might not even be an expense. It might just be a budget transfer if you were buying something similar from a different company or out of the grocery store. So some of it is really just a budget transfer. And know that you can resell any of the products that you buy just at wholesale just to recover your $100. So you have zero out-of-pocket every month. So some of the people on the team, maybe you're buying a $100 auto ship of our Memories for Life products, and then you're using them for display, and then at the end of your event, you tell everybody, I'm selling these at wholesale. Anybody who wants them, it's first come, first served, and you sell $100 and you get your $100 back. So you have no expense for the month, and you're still going to get your paycheck from your residual income, from your fast starts, from your quick starts, and all that. You only need to reach your monthly rank in PQV if your team reaches those levels of payout. So on the last slide, it's very small, but you hopefully can be able to see, again, what we were talking about with when you're an IMD, you are getting paid down to your third level. So if you're not trying to rank up so that you can get a coding at the next rank for the month, just run an advanced genealogy report and look to see how low your levels, how deep they go. And if they only go to 3 levels, then you're fine with your $100 order. You don't need to put in the extra 50. Check and see if you're down 4 levels. Check to see that 4th level and see if you have enough people on that 4th level to make the difference up in the $50 that you need to spend between these 2 ranks. And the same goes to this. It just pays 1 more level. So check your 5th level and see if there's a difference here that's going to make up the difference in the $50. Now again, if you need products because you want them in your transfer purchase budget, that's a totally different thing. Then place the order and know that that is not an expense of your business. But I've been hearing a lot of grumbling as people are spending more than they're earning, but they're spending money to reach this rank, and maybe they only have 2 levels of people. Well, once you reach the rank, you're getting coded at $5 month to month. You need to build your team. You need to work on getting enough depth that the $50 is made up in those extra percentages as you go down. So, with questions, if you have any questions, type them in, and I'm happy to answer the questions. Okay, somebody's asking the question about the low BV numbers. So let me explain bonus value a little bit to you guys. So there's 3 different numbers, and actually 4. There's a retail price that people can purchase. There's a wholesale price that we purchase at that's less than the retail price. There's a qualifying value number, which is what counts for our rank, and that qualifying value could be equal to the wholesale. It could be less than the wholesale, or it could be more than the wholesale. They play with the qualifying rank number to help us with things like reaching for ranks. So when they do the double circle deals on Wednesday, they adjust the qualifying value to give us more money towards our rank, but it doesn't cost us any additional money and we don't get any additional commission. So the qualifying number is what everything for rank payout is based at. The BV is the bonus value, and that's what we're commissioned on. So let me explain how they figure out what the BV is. And the best example I have is a product that we used to have in Creative Memories, and I need to come up with an example that people can understand that's outside of that, but when I'm looking on the call, just about everybody on the call right now is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So my explanation for bonus value is the page frame that we used to sell in Creative Memories. It was $99. And we got 30 to 50% commission, depending on if you were a leader. So in order for them to be able to afford to pay 50% commission out on that product, they had to have it at a high price of $99. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I barely sold any of those page frames because they were quite expensive and didn't seem like they were worth $99. So if Creative Memories instead said, you know what, we're going to lower the price of that product to $69 because more people will buy that thing at $69. It's much more affordable to them. Well, we can only afford to pay you 10% commission on that product. I would have been able to sell maybe 20 of those things, and still in at 10% commission, I would have got $600 in commission versus I sold maybe one a year and got my 30% of $30. So the concept is that the bonus value is the adjusted amount that they are able to afford to pay us our commissions on by keeping the product at a price that the market can bear. So if they had the bonus value equal to the price of the product on some of the products where there's barely any markup for them, like the scrapbooking product, then we'd be priced out of the market. You know, the paper packs might have to be $17, and nobody would pay $17 for a paper pack. So they can put it at a price that people will pay, $10, but they can't afford to pay us the full amount of commission on that because they aren't making enough profit. Now, some of the products, there is full BV. If you look at AromaShare, the AromaShare Club is 100%. It's $50 BV, $50 QV, $50 wholesale. So you're getting the full BV amount on that, which means that that product has a much higher margin for Youngevity, so they're able to pay us on the full amounts that we pay. So if you look across the board, there'll be some different products that the BV is equal, and you know that the margin is better on those products. It just so happens that the Our Memories for Life and the Heritage Makers one, there's not enough margin on it, and I think all of us know that from past experience that there just isn't a lot of wiggle room on that. So I hope that answers the question about how many items the BV is less on, because that just means that they're making less money on the product because they can't afford to pay us, or else they'd have to raise the price, and we definitely don't want them to raise the price. Okay, let me see what other questions. To qualify for RMD, does PQV have to be auto ship? No. Any of the qualification ranks, you just have to have personal qualifying value. The only thing in the entire compensation plan that you have to have an auto ship in for is Quick Start. Everything else is just straight money. Does a preferred customer who is personally enrolled count towards car bonus? No. That car bonus is just independent marketing directors. They have to be distributors. The distributors who are buying $100 or more on a month count towards the car bonus. They do not have to be auto ship either. The only thing, again, that has to be auto ship is the 30% Quick Start bonus. The rest is just regular purchases. Anything else? Give it one more minute if you guys have another question. Otherwise, I'll stop the recording and I'll post all this stuff for you guys. All right, I know I've done like so many of these compensation trainings, and every time I try to just put a little different spin on it and think about it in a different way. So hopefully you guys are getting to be experts on all of the different ins and outs of the comp plan. And if not, I'll just keep doing training, and eventually we'll all get it, right? All right, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and enjoy your families, and know that I am so blessed and thankful to have all of you on my team. And I love you guys, and I will chat with you next week. Thank you. Bye.